Morning and welcome to the correct edition of Morning Mindset. Welcome. It is 9:15, 8:35 in the AM Central Standard Time on September 15th. Welcome, Morning Mindset. Hey, this is why you should have your notifications turned on and be subscribed, because when we set these all up in advance, this one wasn't set for the right day. So to get in there, I'm like, what is going on? Why can't I find it? And then I realized, yeah, there's two schedules for Monday. So I'm going to do a little adjustment. So thank you for getting through that with me. Hey, sometimes it doesn't always work the way that we planned. And this is one of those reasons. So we'll get through it. Welcome, Morning Mindset. First time here, this is what we do. I need to know who you are. I need to know where you're from. And I need to know what's in your cup and what the weather is like in your area. Low 60s here. It is sunny. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. And in the cup, we're going to with the little Celsius Arctic vibe this morning. So we're going to see how that plays out. Not too shabby dabby there. And then the most important thing, 5 things. What are 5 things that you are going to accomplish today? So for us, I've got stickers. I'm in the middle of a 3,000 run print order that we're getting out. I've got shirts that need to be pressed, or Corey's got shirts she needs to press. Invoicing I need to do. There's invoices still from last week that I haven't got out. So I need to get on those. Got a web store to finish, and of course DTF. So those are the things that we need to get done today. Welcome. Let's check in and see how everybody is doing today. Barb, good morning to you from North Central Minnesota. 55, cloudy, high of 65 projected day. Water in the cup. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. 78 and sunny, showing a high of 90 with chances of rain. Nothing in the cup, getting a late start. Sometimes we have that. Good morning to you, Renee. 55 on the way to 81. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. Am I alone this morning? No, there's people here. And it was all my mess up. So we're probably going to have half the people we normally do, because they click links and see, oh, it wasn't until Monday, so I'm on the wrong one. This is why I ask you to subscribe and turn on the notifications so we go live. You're notified. Barb's 5 things. Customer pickup, DTF, work on Spiritware, set up photo booth to take pictures of products, and decide on work tables for craft room. Production. That sounds awesome. And see, Chuck and Barb stopped by, and everybody's getting there. And I think YouTube is lagging some. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Everything is lagging. Facebook user, good morning to you. FU, Facebook user. Facebook and streamer don't always play nice together, and when that happens, that's what you become. FU, Facebook user. The way to stop this, head over to our YouTube side of things, fatdadlive.com. Get you into YouTube. While you're there, make sure to like and subscribe, and then we will be able to see who you are. So it's Friday. It has been a week, to say the least. There's stuff coming or going. It ever seems like you're spending out more than what you're taking in, and you're really not. There's just jobs that you bid that are just tight margins. We have certain things, especially on some of our commercial stuff, where we are, where you're not making a whole lot off of it, but we're making enough to pay the bills on it. And so sometimes you'll see, you're like, oh, here's this great big order, but then by the time you take out the materials, by the time you take out everything that it costs to make the shirt, labor, and that, there's not a whole lot of profit left in it. And there's still some. All the bills are paid. But there's times where I'm like, man, this is going to be a great week. And then the margins show that, maybe it wasn't. And then we'll have days where, there's just zero coming in. You wake up in the morning and there's no orders. What do you do? And that still happens to us. Typically orders will come in throughout the day, but most times we get a fair amount of orders after hours. And so when we wake up, then, there might be, 5, 10, 15 orders that came in overnight. But when there's no orders that came in overnight, that's when it's kind of like, ooh, how is today going to turn out? Because could it be a 0 day? When I wake up and I know there's a sale, it's not a 0 day. But there are days like that. When things happen, that's when we look at what we're putting out there. Like right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 8. I don't know how the hell I counted and got 6, but 8. We've got 8 stores that are in the process of being built out. So, when it is downtime, that's what we're doing, is we're building these out. So it's future sales. We bid out 1, 2, 4 jobs of 75 shirts or more. So, if those come back in, those are there for it. We've got a couple things that are on order, so we're waiting for those to come in. So stuff is out. We're just waiting for it to come in. We've bid, and you'll have that where it seems like nothing, and then invoices will pay off. So, hey, it's a 0 day, and then invoices come in, and next thing you know, it's, a $2,000 day, a $5,000 day, a $10,000 day. It can just vary like that. And that's what I said, on the business side of things, it can be stressful, when you're looking at it and you're like, hey, I want this to be a successful run, and I want to be able to this to be our majority source. You got to figure out a way to keep those orders consistently coming in, whether you're putting out bids, whether you're always have something going. But the marketing side of it is where it's really at. On us, there's a lot that we can improve on and get better at. But some of those things that we need to improve on and get better on rely on the process behind it being, pretty well perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. We'll find issues with it, but to make it more streamlined. I don't want to go out and, spend $500 on ads if the back end process is going to be bogged down. I want that to be streamlined so that way it's a good experience for somebody to order. That's why, Shopify is taking a little longer than we expected. We're getting the gang sheet builder, so they're in there. I'm getting that. We're getting a couple of our printers online, so that way we're able to overflow some of them in a seamless fashion. We're getting shipping figured out because we switched, and we're having some issues where shipping isn't what it is. I think last week alone, we lost close to $500 in shipping costs because we had here it is with flat rate. So we make some, we lose some. Usually all comes out in the wash. But when we really paid attention to it last week, and that was 500. Now 500 cuts into profit. Now let's say that's an average week. I'm that's $2,000 in profit a month. That's gone. $24,000 a year gone, if that's what it comes out to. See, even if it's $100 a week, that's still $2,000 in profit that's just gone throughout the year. So getting a better understanding on how to fix that. So when we do have stuff that passes through and goes to other places, hey, how do we make it so we're not losing on this? So it's this delicate dance of trying to make everything work together. This is part of that whole automation thing. When there's stuff that we're not able to do, whether time restraints, material restraints, size restraints, things that we aren't able to do, we have partners that are able to do it for us. What we're trying to do is to make it seamless. So when it's this, it goes from here to here to here, and everything is taken care of. There are some issues and flaws that we found. One being, when artwork is bad. I don't want somebody just to print artwork. I want them to be able to look at it, but some people aren't clicking that button. So maybe that's what it takes, is a couple times of, yeah, hey, I'm good with print as is, and we just print it, and they're like, hey, this isn't what I ordered. Well, you uploaded a 6-inch file for an 11-inch file, and it was a JPEG, so there's white background. You didn't check that you wanted it reviewed. You did everything you could. So, how do we do that in the production base to be able to stop to catch those things? It takes time, it takes money, and it takes effort to do. So, trying to make sure that that's there, and it's just growing pains. As we grow more, then we're hoping to stop a lot of those pains in the beginning, so that way, as we grow, those don't get bigger. I mean, think about it. If we lose $1 now and we expand, then that dollar quickly becomes $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000. So we need to catch it now and get it fixed before it gets that far. The other things are just on production timelines. Some people, when anytime we get invoices out, we're like, hey, it's 5 to 7 business days on this, and this, and then day 3. So somebody would, and this happened this week, somebody placed an order on Tuesday, and it was 3 to 5 business days for what they wanted. And on Thursday, they said, hey, why isn't my stuff here? And I said, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, I usually have my stuff in 2 days. And I looked and I'm like, well, when we're able to process orders faster, we are. But right now we're sitting at about 2-3 days before stuff goes out, unless you're a VIP member. You're getting your stuff faster. I said, in fact, looking at that, because it was Thursday, so looking into it, I was like, hey, for what's in there, it probably wouldn't even print out until Monday. Like just where things were at that time with orders that came in. When somebody sends in, hey, we need 500 square feet of material, that takes a day. So and they're paying for that fee. So I'm like, if you need something by a timeline, because they wanted it, they thought that they would have it by Friday, so that way they could do it and use it for football stuff tonight. Well, you ordered on Tuesday. I mean, the order went out yesterday. You might get it today, but we can't rely on that. If you need something by certain days, pay those upcharges for production rushing and shipping rushing. We can't control shipping. We can only hope to be able to manage it, right? So just because something is typically a 1-day ship doesn't mean it's always going to be that way. Sometimes things just happen, so you can't rely on that. Even if you select the 2-day or the overnight, we're doing our best hoping that gets there, but we all know shippers screw up. So you try and do your best process to go along with it. And, hey, here's what we did. Yep, we got it out. We did it there. It's on the shipping thing. Let's go ahead and, file a claim, and then we can go from there. But even with that, what do you want to do? If we file a claim and that package, so overnighted something yesterday, right? It's supposed to show up today. It does not show up today. One, they won't do anything, until it passes. So they wouldn't do anything until Monday. Okay, what do you want us to do? Because if they find it, they will deliver it, and there's that, and then we can figure out the rush shipping. But if you need that, we need an order from you to reprint it, because otherwise you're going to get doubled. They're going to find it and send it to you, and they're not going to give us any credit for it. And then we're out the reprint and the reship. So there's that process in there, and we try and work with everybody on it, but nobody's perfect. We are far from it, but we try our best to alleviate all those problems. One of the issues that I know we're finding in the website and that we're not able to fix, another reason to go into Shopify, is we can't stack coupons. So if somebody has a VIP coupon and then they're trying to use their $25 coupon, it won't let them. And there's just, or if they try and use that and then a free shipping coupon, it's not letting them. So there's not a whole lot we can do with that right now until we get into the Shopify where it allows us to do it. So just bear with us. We're getting through all of that. And so let's check in and see how more people are doing. T-Town, how are things over in your area? You heard there, how's the city itself doing? Because, of the 3 plants that are striking, one's in Toledo. So, if any didn't know about that, UAW went on strike this morning, last night, whatever that is, but it was only at 3 plants. I don't know what's going to come of that. It could turn into something huge and more plants going, but man, it just seems like, up for every step forward, there's 5 steps back lately. Darren, good morning to you. 70 into a peak was running late. That's fine, because so were we. Taking the Prius back in. Ooh, what did you do to it? Going to a concert tonight. What concert are you going to? Haven't had time to get the rest of my 5. That's all right. And Juan, buenos dias to you. Seeing you and the lovely wife yesterday. It was nice seeing you. We'll talk about that here in a second. Work for day. Finished screen printing in 2-color for dispatch, embroider shirts for fire department. UV DTF on 600 5-ounce sampler mugs. That was an awesome job. Which I can't. You got to post pictures. We got to see how that rolls. And for us personally, we are hoping that here in the next 4 to 6 weeks we'll have DTF here, and then or UV DTF, and then we'll be good to go. For Soda Fest, reclaim screens, burn films for tomorrow's jobs. Now, Juan, are you doing 6 days, 7 days a week over there? What are you doing over there? And it goes for everybody else. What are you doing? Are you typically working every day? Are you working 5 days? What's your hours? I'm gonna have to post that and see how it is. For us this weekend, I've got to be up at the school tomorrow morning, I believe at 8:30. And that is going to be, what do we got? Installing playground equipment, painting the blacktop. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're meeting at one of the secondhand places because we're giving them a check. We partnered up with somebody else out to eat with Leo. They went ahead and were donating part of the proceeds. And, we said, hey, you know what? We'll go ahead and match your offer on that. So we're going to be there tomorrow and present some checks. So that's always a fun thing to do. But that's tomorrow for us. Yeah, Barb, it is. And this is definitely a process. And there is no this is the way to do it. You need to do this. No, what you need to do is figure out what works for you, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. We can give you ideas on, hey, this is what works for us. This is what we use. This is how we do it. But you need to develop your own process, your own system, and what works best for you. And take everybody's advice, and just create your own. You're going to, take a little bit from here and a little bit from there and a little bit from over there, make your own, and then things will be fine with it. Yeah, once we hand it over to UPS, USPS, or FedEx, it's out of our control. 1,000%. And that's super tough for any of us, because we had a great experience with the customer. We went through the whole customer process, and everything was magnificent. Everything was great. Printer quit printing. I don't know why. That's scary. Or no, we're not gonna go. We'll finish talking, and then I'll go deal with that. And see, because it could turn into a mess. Or yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Dirk's up to this morning, but yeah, we have a great conversation with them. We go through every process with them. We get mock-ups. We do everything. They have a great experience. They're happy with the product, happy with the price, happy with everything, and then we hand it off to the shipper, and then it all goes downhill. It's not our faults, right? Once it leaves our hands, it's out of our control. And then what do you do when stuff comes up missing or gets damaged, or how do you handle that? Well, you file a claim, and then you decide which way is the best way to do it, because you need to be compensated for redoing the stuff, reprinting, shipping, all of that. And that's where using the proper shipping channels that have the insurance will really help you out. Not always the cheapest way of shipping things is the best way. Look at that. What happens if something happens? Is it covered? Is the package covered on that? So you send it out and you hope it's there. What happens when a package goes to a facility and it's sitting at a facility? It hasn't been lost yet because it hasn't been delivered to a wrong address or anything there. It's just sitting there. They're not going to do anything until they investigate it, and that could take 5 to 7 days. So then you have to ask your customer, hey, here's what we're looking at. We can redo this, and here's the way it's going to work. Is it's going to cost you again to order it all up. We will redo that. If FedEx does not find anything, they will give us a refund credit, and then we can go ahead and apply that to yours, and then you're fine. You paid for what you got. But if they do find it, they're going to go ahead and deliver it. So then you're going to end up with 2 sets. Which way do you want to go? And so we ask the customer, which way do you want to go? Do you want us to go ahead and reprint, reship, or do you want us to sit and wait? How are you handling that on your side when things like that happen? And Juan said it depends on the order load. I promised my family to take more time off for them, so I try my best to do 5 to 6 work days. Occasionally, I'm having to do 7. Yeah, and it's tough. I try really hard to take the weekends off. Now I'll get up in the morning and work some. Like tomorrow morning probably not, because to be up at the school. But I'll probably do some reading tomorrow morning. Probably maybe schedule some posts on that. Sundays I don't try and work at all. This weekend is going to be a long, busy weekend for us because of having that function at the school tomorrow, having that function in the afternoon, and then Sunday we have brunch, breakfast. We have something going on Sunday morning because Krista's 21st birthday is on Monday. So we're to get the family together, we're going to breakfast, brunch, whatever on Sunday. Now, the big kicker is it's like, do you stay up till midnight so we can go take her somewhere and have a drink? It's Sunday night. A lot of places are closed, so I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off. It's just going to be Corey, if it's going to be me. But then Monday, when we're back here, we're going to get in here. We're going to bang out this show nice and fast, because then we're going to take her for a proper breakfast and drinks at one of our fun little places. And that's going to be Monday. So that's already on the schedule. That's family time. That's what we're doing. I'm going to get as much stuff as I can get done. We're going to go do that. It'll probably take us an hour or two, and then come back and then get back into it. But that's it. And then I have a short week next week as well, because, I don't have production or shipping here on Thursday and Friday because they're going down to Nashville for her birthday. So that means I need to make sure anything that I really need to have out is out before then, because I don't want to be stressed on Thursday and Friday to, be bogged down with this stuff. So for us, there in throwing the other stuff in the mix is there's a Bobcat Dash on Wednesday that we should go and support the school for. So we've got that. And then PTO meeting on Thursday night. We've also got swimming and soccer in there too. So we've got a lot. I've got a lot going on. Mr. Mom is going to be in full effect. And it's going to be a crazy, crazy thing. Let me answer this real quick and see what we got here. Almost. Okay, there. So we've got to make adjustments, and we can work as many hours or as few as we want. If things aren't getting done, we're not putting the hours for it, and that's on us. Like today, I'm getting as much done as I can here. The goal is to have all of this stuff done by 11:30, and then spend the rest of the afternoon on the web stores. And that's just sit down, quiet place, and just bang them out. And that's the goal, to have those this afternoon. There's a couple other things I've got to add, but I need to get at least one of these for sure out this afternoon. But we have to do it. It's that balance. Mondays through, so typically for us, Mondays and Tuesdays are longer days for me. Longer days. I'm usually in here, between 5 and 6 in the morning. So let's call it 6. Mondays typically done not till 6 to 7. Tuesdays are the same way, especially when we do Tuesday with Todd, because that goes 5 to 6 and that goes over. So right there off the bat, there's two 12 to 13 hour days right there. Wednesday, try to with soccer in that be done by 4:30, but I'm still in here at 6. And same thing on Thursday. Fridays, I've been trying to do everything production wise done by noon, so that way I can catch up on anything there. But Saturdays and Sundays, I try not to work. There's times that I have to. There's times that I schedule things up. I'll answer questions that. But as far as production, we're not doing any printing again until Monday. And it's just I want to. I didn't get into this. I didn't put it this way. I didn't leave a salaried position that was working Monday through Friday from 7 to 4 to come and work for myself for less money for 3 times the hours. I knew this is what I wanted to work. I knew this is what I needed to make, and I knew this is how to get there. And I knew it was going to be tough, but at that same time, I need that work-life balance. If I'm not spending time with the family, if we're not going out and doing stuff, we're not going, just to be a family together, if we're just not hanging out, then why am I doing this? I can go work for somebody else, make more money, and have less problems. There's days, like I said, 0 days where I'm thinking that. I had a conversation with one of our friends yesterday, and we were going over orders and ways that I would do stuff. And here's the thing is, in the last 30 days, they had done, it was just under 50,000 in sales. So, no, that was just September. So in the last 15 days, it's 40,000, because we went back and I said, how far back do we have to go to 50? And it was like 4 weeks. It wasn't, August wasn't there. Regardless, they're doing a boatload of business. So I think they're on pace to do about $500,000, $750,000 this year, the way they currently go. And, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to quit everything and come work for you. And they said, Jay, you come here. We will definitely have you here. And that's the thing, is that we've got enough friends in the industry where it's like, yeah, who needs some help? Here's what I need to make. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can offer. And we can go and crush it together. But at that same time, then I'm working for somebody else. I don't know if I could do that again. I mean, if I had to, I would. I had to go out and get a 9 to 5 job. But there's times, when I look at it, okay, $20 an hour, you're working 8 hours, $160 a day. When you look at just on average of what stuff is, that means, that I need to do $300 in sales to match that. And, we get that, golden. More than that, awesome. Less than that, sucks. But to go work and do something for somebody else that I'm not passionate about, I don't know if I could do that. I really, really don't know. But yeah, they are on strike. They just need to go back to work. In my opinion, these cars already cost too much. Well, and that's the thing, is when you look at it, like, somebody is making money somewhere, right? And when they say, the billionaires out there, well, it is, you have a lot of, people that are making money off it, but there's also a lot of stocks in there. When they're saying, hey, we only want to work 32 hours, but we want to get paid for 40, doesn't everybody? One of the companies said, their record profits, in this last 5 years was like something like $40 billion. But if they would use the stuff that they're requesting and go over that same period, they would have lost $5 billion. So there's that balance. It always, I'm not one way or another. I mean, we dealt with that here with Deere, because if you didn't know, here where we are, we're the headquarters of John Deere. And so we see a lot of that when it comes to contract talks and that. And one of their things, I think they were off for like 6 weeks, I want to say, is what they were off for on strike. And remember, they got their strike pay, which was like $500 a week or something, so nowhere near what they were making. But then when they ratified their contract, they got a bonus that basically paid them all that time that they were off work. So they really didn't miss anything out. They had, they had to go work the strike lines and that, but they still got paid for it all, and they got a better thing. And then the prices go up. when they say, a CEO doesn't need to make this much, well, I mean, when you look at it across the board, if you start increasing prices, everything just goes up, and that's where I'm a real stickler on pricing at, because why are we always trying to fight to that bottom of the that bottom of the barrel? I don't want that. Here are my prices. You don't like it? Okay. Um, I don't know why we've been in that mindset of the customers get to tell us what our pricing is. Like, hey, that's too much. I'm not paying that. Okay, fine by me. I'm not doing it. Like, we got to stick to those guns on it. And then, when you do get jobs and people, aren't paying for them, when you're doing you've got invoices for thousands of dollars sitting out there, and that they're going to pay. But what happens if they decide, what, I'm just done doing business, and they don't pay anymore? So then, you're sitting on thousands of dollars that you've already done, materials, labors, you've done all that. How do you stop that? Well, quit doing terms with them. You're like, hey, everything is paid for up front. So then that becomes the other question. How are you doing your payments? Are you requiring, 100% payment up front? Are you requiring 50% payment up front? Are you doing no payment up front? What are you doing to make sure, that you're covered there? So there's different, pros and cons to it. There's a couple businesses that order on a consistent basis from us, and we bill out once a month for them, and it works. It's just because the amount of orders that they send in, and it's like there might be 7 orders that they send on this day, tomorrow might be 3, the next day might be 0, the next day might be 0, the next day is 15. And so instead of doing that, we just keep a running invoice and we just send it to them. Now, this is a customer that we have had now for the last 4 years, and so it's like we've built that reputation with them. We send them an invoice on the 1st, it's paid on the 1st, everything works. There's other ones that order, and then we don't see a payment for 2 or 3 weeks. We send an invoice to it, and you're like, okay, they'll pay, and then it's like you're waiting on it. So it's like they're waiting to get paid on their end, and you're not going to, it could be 1,000, it could be 2,000. And we're sitting on those. There's other ones that require, hey, we need to put this through a PO system, and you're not going to get paid for 45 to 60 days. So on things like that, we will put terms on it. Hey, if we don't have a payment at this, it increases by this percentage here. Everything gets paid within that amount of time. You got to, once again, do what works best for your business. Now, I try to be as much of 100% payment upfront as possible. But sometimes in the fast-paced business of printing transfers, doing decals, it's just not possible. They send the stuff, hey, we need this today. Yeah, I can do it. But to take the time to create the invoice, to do all of that, it could be 5, 10, 15 minutes. It could be longer depending on how many things, how many processes. And it's just, that's time taken away from production. Let me get production and send it out. So it is tough, and I'm not saying one way is, better than the other, but the more money I can keep in my pocket, the better I am. And then T-Town's 5 things: wrapping mirror with vinyl and tinting side markers for truck. Nice. Pickup truck got tires. Sweet. Clean basement. Got a dumpster for that. And maybe do some T-shirt work. That doesn't sound like a bad day at all. So for us, like I said, the only way this stuff's going to get done is if I get to work, right? And that's what we need to do today. So let's see. T-Town said, I just got a big embroidery order for the local high school Spirit Hut for football games, and they want to send a check, but they have me on a week crunch, so I ordered some, but not their whole order. Yeah. So here's the thing. So we did, it was a school. They needed stuff back within a week. We gave them an order, sent them an invoice. They sent out a check. The check never came. We've worked with them, so we're like, yep, okay, we ordered everything up and we had everything ready to go, but we still hadn't got a payment. We saw it in our scheduled delivery that here was a check from them. Not the actual check, but we saw the envelope from them, and it never got delivered. It never showed up. So they went ahead and cut us a new check when we dropped stuff off. But yeah, like you're the one putting out, like, when did I become the Bank of Todd? Is not a good bank. Like I don't want to be that. Maybe if I charged a lot more, go ahead. Oh, you need us to finance this for you? Okay, it's $2 per item more on that. Why? Well, we're taking all the risk now. You could just poof and disappear, and then you got your product and we didn't get any payment, so it's $2 more for that, and here's your terms on it. they said you got to do what's best for you and your business, and I don't think anybody can tell you that but yourself. But I will say this: the sooner you can collect all payment up front, the better off it is. And it's $2,100 orders. Yeah. So you're sitting on that, waiting. Okay, what are you going to do? Like ours was just under $1,000, and that was their cost on it, not our cost on it. So you're sitting on stuff. Like I said, right now I know we are probably sitting on about $3,000 to $4,000 of orders that we're waiting to get paid on, and that makes my stomach churn. It makes my butthole pucker. It just does not make for thing, because I know that money will eventually show up, but it's like, why did we get in this predicament for it? And a lot was because we've done business with these people before. We've helped them out. They've taken care of us, and it was just tight deadlines on things. And so we know we're getting a payment when we drop stuff off. We're getting it when we ship it out. Some of the things are shipping, so it's like we're invoicing for this part, and then we'll invoice for shipping at a later date. So that way, when it comes in there, because we don't know what it's going to be, and when you're sitting on that, it's just like, okay, I had to pay for this. I had to pay for all these shirts to come in here. I had to pay for all the materials, to print the decals. I had to pay for all the materials to print the DTF. I had to pay, and now I'm sitting. So you see that reserve go down because you were paying, and you're just waiting for that stuff to come in so it can come back up. And it can be stressful. Being a business owner is super, super stressful. I will say that much. But I need to get to work. Next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we will be doing Morning Mindset. So that's not going anywhere. Tuesday with Todd, we're going to talk, fundraising, different ideas for fundraising efforts that you're able to do. Every school is doing some kind of fundraiser, whether it's mums, whether it's wreaths, whether it's popcorn, whether it's wrapping paper, whether it's candy. Why not set up your own type of fundraiser? Maybe, and we'll talk about different things where it doesn't have to be, you're doing a full store, where here it's everything that you have to offer. Maybe it's just going to be tumblers. Maybe it's just going to be t-shirts. Maybe it's just going to be this, or this. So you're going to do what you can do to go from there. You're going to, create packages for them. So that's what we're going to talk about on Tuesday with Todd. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will be here for Morning Mindset. Correct time, correct place, all of that stuff. So you guys have an amazing day. Yes. Okay. I just seen something out of the corner of my eye. I need to go check on. So have an amazing day. Amazing, whatever. Peace, love, press on. We will see you guys next time.